We've had a poll as well on our social media channels. Will Pep Guardiola still be at Man City next season? About 10,000 people have voted, and it's comprehensive. They're 81% saying no. Jimmy, I mean, that's
what's really interesting about those comments there. I mean, I'm assuming they're all Manchester City fans. It sounded like they were, and that to me is what I'm going to be interested in is to the kind of the mindset of the Manchester City fan as to how they view Manchester City players now. Pep Guardiola in terms of their next move. So if Pep leaves, or say Raheem Sterling left, or De Bruyne left, will they look at that as them not being loyal to the football club and they should stick around? Because from a player's point of view, if all of this is true, and that remains obviously to be cleared up completely yet.
We have to assume right now it is, though, for the purpose of this conversation.
We have to assume that for the conversation. That's not my fault as a player. I've done what you've asked me to do. I've gone out there, I've won you 2 league titles, qualified for the Champions League, all of the funds that have been brought into this football club on the back of getting into Champions League football, that's what I've done as a player. Now you're telling me that possibly my 2 trophies might be taken away from me and the ability for me to play in Champions League football for the next 2 years. I don't see how the fans would blame me personally for walking away from the situation. If it's a year, I can see someone like Raheem Sterling saying, no, I'll stick it out. It's fine. It's a year. I'm 26 years old. But if it's De Bruyne who's 29, like I said before, and a few others, I think a few are going to have to kind of really, accept that they might have to lose a few.
And
of
other
their top
clubs know
stars.
they might have to sell. So you have to question what fee they would offer.
What's so sad about the whole thing is City as a club. Some of the best moments have happened in the last few years since the owners have come into the football club. Some of the best moments in their history have happened.
Yeah.
The Aguero goal, winning the league titles, those things. And what this does now is put a cloud over all those amazing achievements from the players and from the management staff and from everyone connected to the club.
Are you banging into this whole asterisk thing? I've just mentioned is that what you're saying there, basically?
What I'm saying is it casts a shadow over all of those moments. If they have been cheating, as it's been, the term's been used. It's an awful thing to say, but like you say, it's not the players' fault. It's not the manager's fault. It should be taken care of at a higher level. The financial fair play, it needs to be taken care of, and I think the players are suffering, and I think they might hold the club responsible for that.
If you were in that dressing room right now, that City dressing room, what would be going through your mind as a player?
Well, with the asterisk situation on what they've done, what they've done is what they've done. History tells you with football, teams who've had money have spent it. Whether it's within their means or without their means, they've spent it, they've bought the best players and they've won the best trophies. That's no different from Liverpool in the 80s, Manchester United in the 90s, and then Chelsea and everyone. You spend money, you get the best players, you win trophies. So what has happened on the pitch? You can't take that away from them players, I don't think. Regardless of, they'll have no idea as a footballer what's going on, where the budget is, where the bottom line is, how much money's been spent on this and that. So as far as I'm concerned, they've won them trophies. You can't take them away from that group of players. But going forward, if I'm a player and I'm looking at it and I've got aspirations to win the Champions League, you'll be on the phone to your agent saying, "What's my options here? Because I don't want to be sitting here." And this is just the start, mate. Like you said, maybe the Premier League will get involved and there'll be points deduction. So that means there'll be no Champions League and no Premier League title if you're 10 points deducted or something at the start of the season. So as a player with ambition, you're making the question this morning to your agent, what
about
the situation?
If I say in the next week or so, Pep Guardiola pulls you as a group of players and he sits down and goes, "Listen, I'm staying put. I'm going to be a part of this. We're going to fight it. It might be 1 year, but I'm staying. I'll sign a 3-year deal, committing myself to this football club, and we're going to build."
Do you think he'll do that?
I want you to be a part of it.
Do you expect that he would do that right now, though?
No, but what I'm saying is, like, from a club perspective, that's what they need to do, in my opinion, keep some strength within, with what's going on now. To steady the ship, the first thing that needs to happen is they need to hear something out of Pep. Which tells me, as a player, he's going to stay put. That way I can go, I can get my head around this. It might just be 1 year, but we're going to be going in the right direction, and I've got the best manager in the world to get me going towards the title that I want.
Peter, one of those tweets really interesting as well, because they talk about the pressure all of a sudden on City now this season. Real Madrid round the corner. If they're going to win it, they might feel they have to do it right now under Pep, or it might never happen.
Yeah, it's huge for them this season. They haven't had great success in the Champions League, but the fans, a lot of them have never bought into the Champions League. They haven't, and this is only going to make things worse. The problems. You're telling me City, the only team that have bent the rules financially across Europe? Of course not. They're the only team that have been banned for 2 years, and that's not going that's not going to help with the fractions between the fans and the relationship between UEFA and Manchester City. And I'm not saying they're the white Man City, but is any club.
Other appeals have been successful in the past.
Yeah.
AC Milan, Galatasaray, PSG.
Yeah.
They'll hold out hope, the fans, for now, Joe.
And I think they'll have a case, because there's historical cases where, bans have been. I think maybe the ban has been. I think this because the ban's been 2 years. I think they'll go to a bit appeal and they'll get done to 1. I don't think it will go on much longer than that.